The woman whose family was on the verge of collapse today received a devastating call. Her father had suffered a stroke after her brother was implicated in a financial crime. Desperately, she called her husband, the powerful CEO, for help. But the man was cold, telling her to simply ask his secretary for money. That's why he thought this was just another request for cash. Just then, she overheard him lovingly congratulating another woman on her birthday, a celebration marked by $1 million fireworks display. That's when the woman understood his gentleness was a side he'd never show her. Her aunt then explained the reason. That other woman, the violinist, was his savior who had supposedly woken him from a coma years ago. And because the wife suffered from amnesia, she accepted this painful truth. She believed her own fragmented memories of playing the violin were nothing but a dream born from envy. When she called the secretary for the medical fees, she was humiliated and told to file a written application. That's when she received the final blow. She learned that every piece of jewelry she wore was merely company property she had to register to use. She realized she was just a wife in name. The only thing that truly belonged to her was her wedding ring. Meanwhile, her husband was willing to spend millions on his lover but not a penny for his dying father-in-law. She finally understood she had been living like a parasitic one, clinging to a man who offered no support. So she made a decision. She would sell her ring to pay the hospital bills and demand a divorce. But that night, the husband returned home. He was a man with severe OCD, and only his wife was allowed to touch his belongings. So he was immediately annoyed when she didn't come to greet him at the door. The maid explained that the wife was very upset about her father, but the husband simply dismissed it as her being moody. He entered the room and found her distant and cold. He offered a weak apology, blaming his secretary for the misunderstanding. But the wife was done. She calmly handed him the divorce papers. The husband mocked her, reminding her of the 2,000 square meter villa she lived in and the harsh reality of a 3,000 a month salary outside. She then erupted, shouting about the humiliation of having to apply for every dollar, of being a wife with no autonomy. But the real twist came when he revealed his side of the story. He accused her of orchestrating their marriage from the beginning. He claimed she had drugged him 3 years ago, causing him to miss saving his white moonlight, which resulted in the other woman's permanent leg injury and forced him to marry her. Furious, the husband grabbed her, demanding to know where the wedding ring was. The wife defiantly told him she had sold it. Enraged by her betrayal, he forced himself upon her. She pleaded with him to stop, telling him she wasn't on birth control and could get pregnant. But he completely ignored her cries. Afterwards, he tried to regain control by offering a series of concessions. He promised to fire the secretary, give her an allowance, and let her keep all the jewelry. He told her she should be satisfied, as he had already compromised. But just then, his phone rang. It was his white moonlight, and his voice instantly softened as she complained about her leg pain. The wife watched in silence, while her husband only offered comfort to the other woman. After he hung up, the wife said nothing. She simply got up and went to sleep in a separate room. Because of this, the husband was furious. The next morning, he was annoyed when his coffee tasted wrong, so he called for his wife, only to be told by the maid that she was gone. She had packed a single suitcase and left overnight, without a driver or car, and the maid handed him what she had left behind. It was the signed divorce papers. She had agreed to live with nothing, and that's when he finally realized this wasn't a game. As a woman stripped of her wealth and past, what will she do to reclaim her life?